Want to ace your next transport planner interview? Discover the top 10 questions employers ask and how to answer them with confidence. From sustainable planning to stakeholder engagement, these insights will help you stand out and land the role. 1. How would you approach developing a sustainable transport plan for a rapidly growing urban area? I would begin by assessing current infrastructure, population growth projections, and mobility patterns. Sustainability hinges on multimodal integration, including public transit, cycling, and pedestrian options. I'd engage stakeholders, use modeling tools to forecast impacts, and align strategies with environmental goals like reduced emissions. Key elements include smart zoning, transit-oriented development, and incentivizing eco-friendly travel behaviors. Public input and equity considerations ensure inclusivity. I'd also monitor performance metrics to iterate effectively. Collaboration with urban planners, environmental experts, and local governments is crucial. This holistic approach ensures long-term efficiency, livability, and resilience in the face of rapid urban expansion and climate change. 2. What are the key challenges and opportunities in integrating different modes of transportation in a large metropolitan area? Key challenges include infrastructure compatibility, funding constraints, and siloed governance. Physical gaps between modes like buses, rail, and cycling can hinder smooth transitions. Technological interoperability, such as shared fare systems, is another barrier. However, integration offers major opportunities: improved commuter convenience, reduced congestion, and environmental benefits. A multimodal network encourages sustainable choices and supports equity. I focus on unified planning, public-private partnerships, and leveraging data to optimize system performance. Policy harmonization and stakeholder coordination are essential. Success lies in creating seamless, reliable, and user-friendly connections that shift reliance from private cars to integrated public and active transport options. 3. How do you assess the effectiveness of a traffic management system? Effectiveness is measured through key performance indicators like travel time reliability, congestion levels, safety incidents, and emissions. I use traffic modeling, real-time data, and user feedback to evaluate system performance. Tools such as Bluetooth sensors, GPS data, and traffic cameras offer detailed insights. I also analyze pre- and post-implementation results to assess improvements. Equity and environmental metrics are included to ensure the system benefits all users and supports sustainability. Continuous monitoring, stakeholder input, and flexibility to adjust operations are critical. A successful system balances efficiency, safety, accessibility, and adaptability in response to changing urban dynamics and user needs. 4. Can you describe your experience with transportation modeling software? I've worked extensively with transportation modeling tools like Visum, TransCAD, and Synchro. These tools help simulate traffic flows, analyze network performance, and forecast impacts of proposed changes. I use them to evaluate scenarios, optimize signal timings, and plan infrastructure investments. For example, I modeled a new BRT corridor, analyzing ridership potential and travel time improvements. I ensure calibration with real-world data to increase model accuracy. These tools also aid in stakeholder communication by visualizing complex dynamics. My experience includes both macroscopic and microscopic modeling, which allows me to tailor analysis depending on the project's scale and goals. 5. How do you approach data analysis in transportation planning? My approach starts with identifying project objectives and relevant data sources, such as traffic counts, GPS data, surveys, and land use data. I clean and validate data for accuracy before applying statistical and geospatial analysis techniques. Tools like Excel, Python, R, and GIS help uncover trends, hotspots, and patterns. I focus on turning raw data into actionable insights, like identifying bottlenecks or forecasting future demand. Visualizations aid communication with stakeholders. I also integrate real-time and historical data for dynamic analysis. Throughout, I ensure transparency, reproducibility, and ethical data use. The goal is informed, evidence-based decisions that improve system performance and user experience. 6. What strategies do you use to engage with stakeholders? I prioritize early, inclusive, and continuous engagement. I begin by identifying all relevant stakeholders: public agencies, local communities, businesses, and advocacy groups. I use tailored outreach methods like public forums, surveys, focus groups, and digital platforms to gather input. Active listening and transparent communication build trust and uncover valuable insights. Visual tools like maps and simulations help convey complex ideas. I also address concerns by showing how feedback shapes project decisions. Regular updates and follow-ups maintain engagement. My strategy ensures that planning reflects community needs and increases buy-in, reducing resistance and fostering long-term project success. 7. Can you discuss a challenging transportation project you worked on and how you overcame obstacles? On a city-wide bike lane expansion, we faced strong opposition from businesses fearing reduced parking. Data showed potential economic benefits, but skepticism persisted. I led a stakeholder outreach campaign, including workshops, site tours, and pilot demonstrations. We collected feedback and adjusted plans to preserve essential loading zones and improve signage. Modeling showed improved safety and traffic flow, which helped gain support. After implementation, retail activity remained stable and bike usage increased. The key was transparent communication, data-driven justification, and compromise. The project ultimately became a model for collaborative planning and helped shift public perception on active transport investments. 8. How do you prioritize competing transportation projects or tasks? I use a multi-criteria decision-making framework considering factors like cost, impact on mobility, safety, environmental benefits, and public support. I engage stakeholders to align priorities with community needs. Data-driven assessments help score projects objectively. Risk, funding availability, and alignment with strategic plans are also considered. For example, a project with moderate cost but high safety improvement may be prioritized over a more expensive, less impactful one. I also factor in timing. Some projects may be prerequisites for others. This structured yet flexible approach ensures transparency, maximizes value, and supports balanced development across diverse transportation goals. 9. Describe a project where you successfully improved transportation efficiency in an urban area. I led a signal optimization project in a congested downtown corridor. Using synchro and real-time traffic data, we retimed signals based on current patterns. We coordinated closely with transit operators to minimize bus delays and integrated pedestrian priority phases. Post-implementation, travel times dropped by 15%, emissions were reduced, and transit reliability improved. Public satisfaction increased, especially among daily commuters. Success was due to thorough data analysis, stakeholder input, and iterative adjustments. We also implemented adaptive signal technology to allow real-time responsiveness. This project demonstrated how smart interventions, even without major infrastructure changes, can significantly enhance urban transport efficiency. 10. How do you approach stakeholder engagement when introducing new transportation policies? I start by mapping stakeholders and understanding their interests and concerns. Early involvement builds trust and reduces resistance. I use accessible communication, including plain language summaries, visuals, and Q&A sessions. Pilots or phased rollouts Help demonstrate value before full adoption. Feedback mechanisms, surveys, workshops, public comment. Ensure the policy is shaped by real-world input. Transparency is key. I explain the rationale, expected outcomes, and how concerns will be addressed. For example, when proposing a congestion pricing plan, I engaged businesses, commuters, and advocacy groups through town halls and digital outreach, which led to refinements and broader acceptance of the final policy. Thank you for exploring the top 10 Transport Planner interview questions and answers. Mastering these responses will help you approach your interview with clarity and confidence. Prepare thoroughly, stay authentic, and showcase your expertise. Best of luck!